My name is Eric Michael, and for the past 10 years of my life, I've been buying and selling sports cards, and I've been so fortunate to sell millions of dollars in sports cards, and it's changed my life for the better. So much so, I've never had to work for anyone else, and I'm on a mission to help as many people make an income from sports cards so you can live the same life that I've been so fortunate to live. And in this video, I'm going to show you the most important part of this process, that is finding cards on eBay. How I do it, what cards I look for, how I negotiate, how I know what a certain card is worth. And right now, while I'm speaking, we're in October, and October is an interesting time. Football is kind of back in play. You'll see I start to look at some football cards because what happens in this world of sports cards is there's a lot of hype coming into the football season, and most quarterbacks drop down in value, like Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Will Levis. These guys are down tons of money. But you could go back in now in week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, where the prices have stabilized and start to go back in and buy. So I'm looking at that stuff. And also, I'm looking at baseball. So you'll see a mix of both and exactly what I do on a step-by-step basis. And let's get to my computer and I'll show you. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. So let's find some cards. So you can see I have a few tabs opened up here. We have eBay, Market Movers, Only Alt, and something called Easy Sniper. And you're going to see me using all three of these. And Market Movers is great for like finding trends of cards and really finding like accurate data. eBay is where I obviously find cards. I don't use all too often, honestly. The app kind of stinks, to be honest with you. But it's like accurate. It's like slow and clunky, but it's accurate. So I use it once in a while if I find cards a little bit more rare. But let's get into it. So right now, I'm really looking for baseball, right? I'm looking for baseball because it's down at the moment. I think it's a good buy. There's a lot of prospects that are cheap. And something I like to do is, like, just to be honest with you, I don't know everything there is to know about minor league baseball, but these are the guys where there's a lot of money to be made. These guys who are in the minor leagues. My favorite type of baseball guy to buy is someone, while they're low in like October, November, December, and buying someone that has a high chance of getting called up for the first time this upcoming spring training or this upcoming season, because that's someone that's going to have a lot of hype, which means hype means prices go up, right? So like a good example of this is like Marcelo Meyer. So like he's 21 years old. And if you look at his stats last year, he had 307. He's a shortstop for the Red Sox. He's 21, so he's probably going to start for the Red Sox for the first time. And what that tells me is his value is going to go up because people are going to get excited about it, right? When you think about it, it's like, oh, that makes sense. So let's actually start this search off with him. So I'm going to just search for like the highest end Marcelo Meyer cards, just to see what is out there. So like, for example, this is not a bad buy. This isn't the highest. This isn't high end, but this is not a bad buy. So let's look this up and see what this sells for. Meyer, blue. Let's see. There are not a lot of sales in the past 30 days. There's really nothing. Let's see. There's wow, there's nothing. This is his autograph. That's why. Let's find his non-autograph. Non-autograph. It's playing games. So let's go on this other tab of eBay. And let's try to find, because I'm actually pretty interested in this card. 2021. Blue. And let's see if we can find any recent sales on eBay. So there's an autograph that's sold. Raw did $69 about 2 months ago, which doesn't help me much. Helps me a little bit. But honestly, if I can get this card for double Raw, like 125, 130, and what I want to do is something I always like to look at. So this is the only piece of data I can find on this card. So like a PSA 10 should be like 2.5 times this. I just kind of know this just off doing this for years. But I want to make sure Marcelo Meyer's value has not went down or went up a lot in the past 2 months, because it could, right? So what I like to do is look at his base PSA 10 because it's a very common card sold. So his non-autograph base PSA 10. And if we look in the past 90 days, right, if we take August 6th and we go here, so let's find around August 6th, his base Bowman Chrome was like $29, $20, $30, so in that range. And today, it sells for $21, $27, so his value really hasn't changed. So what this tells me is, okay, this sale, this same exact card sold today, it will probably be worth roughly the same, to be honest with you. So knowing this, I'm going to be conservative because there's no 10 sales. So I'm going to bid double of what that raw sold for. Because I know it's probably worth 2.5 times, but people might get nervous, and this card might undersell because there's no recent PSA 10 sales. So what I'm going to do is go to Easy Sniper, and what you could do is put the item ID number in there. The way you find the item ID number is right down here. If you saw me just do that. And where are we? And then I'm going to I like to put a random number, like 142. And snipe, and what this will automatically do is bid in the last second for me. I usually, when I'm buying cards already graded, I like to try to buy a little bit higher end, but this is okay because it's a really, really solid card. So that's pretty cool. Nothing else much. I bought this card actually like a month ago. You're telling me that's all the Marcelo Meyer? No way. Oh wait, I'm looking at someone's eBay store. Let's search again. Marcelo Meyer. Wow. Red Lava. This is interesting. It's not going to grade. Interesting card. Fascinating card. But the top here is bigger than the bottom. It's just probably not going to grade. It's tempting, though, because it's such a nice card. If you 10 this card, you'd make so much money. It's tempting. Why am I... Oh, this is not someone's eBay store. Let's do this. Let's do minimum price, $200. And let's go to newly listed so I could go over cards that I have not seen yet. And what is this thing? What in God's name is this? I have no idea what this is. I thought it was created by some sort of company. Mag Pro? Okay, so that's some sort of just thing that holds cards. Let's look at the description. There's border surface issue. It's likely an 8, so I'd be buying this card to grade it. So no interest there, but it's a solid card. This card, so here's something interesting. I see people get tricked on this all the time. This card is not a PSA 10. Just the autograph is graded a 10. The grade of this, the whole card is authentic. So just a little side note there to help you guys out. Let's go to highest first. Let's see what the high-end stuff of Marcelo Meyer is out there. Let me see if I could pop a high-end sale. Orange, this is too much. I just know that's worth too much. All right. Let's go back to... Let's do my favorite. This is my favorite search. So, Bowman Chrome. And let's do minimum price. Let's do $100 minimum price. And let's go to ending soonest. And if you've watched my videos, you've probably seen me do this before. Now, the problem with looking at auctions of cards is you get all these people that post these cards that are just so overpriced. So you see these cards that have 0 bids, which is a waste of time because this card's probably worth like $30, but this person is starting his auction at $120. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my eyes to look at it. So what you could do is go to advanced, click min bid count 1. So we're only looking at cards that have at least 1 bid. And what that tells us is it's within market value, right? If someone's bidding on it, it's probably within market value. And right here, we can click graded no, and a lot of good cards will pop up. So let's see what we got here. Jackson Merrill. The Padres got bounced. And this card, Gem Mint. So it says Gem Mint. The card is not graded. What Gem Mint means for you newbies is it means like the card's graded a 10. But he's probably putting this on here, so when people search for Gem Mint cards, it pops up. I mean, I guess it's smart. The card is not graded. PSA 10 is not guaranteed, but it's ready to grade. So he's like trying to tempt people. It's kind of sketchy, to be honest. Let's see his other items. So this seller's he has no other items, so he probably doesn't grade cards if I had to guess. So what I want to do here is see like what is this card actually worth. So It's from 2022, so the card is a little bit harder to grade, but Jackson Merrill's a pretty solid player. So Merrill, Bowman, Chrome, Auto, and let's go to sold items down here to see what actually sells for. So Raw does like 140, 144. This is his. No, that's not his refractor. 176, and a PSA 10 is like 300. So the problem, and this card is already at 123. So it's a solid card, right? But the issue is this sale of $300 is probably worth a little bit less now, right? Because the Padres lost. And when I'm buying cards, I like to at least double my money, right? So if I buy this card for 140, right? You can see it sells for about 140. Well, it's going to cost me 20, 30 bucks or like 20 bucks to get it graded, right? So I'm into it for 160. And this, if it tens, right, I'm not even doubling my money with this sale. And it's probably worth less today. So it's a good card. It looks solid, like it would grade, but I like to put my money in the best possible position where I could at least double my money if it tens, and the math just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not going to do it. Nonetheless, good card, just not for me. This is a nice card too, but it's off-centered. You can see the left here is smaller than the right. I'm not going to touch that. 2011 Mike Trout made a lot of money on these cards back in the day. He's a little bit newer. Leo DeVries. He's a pretty hot prospect. As you can see, I'm looking at these cards in the morning. You can see, so a lot of these auctions are ending tonight. Let's see, what else do we got here? Caitlin Clark Pink Refractor. Let's see. It's a little off-centered. You can see the left here is bigger than the right. That's the problem with these 2023 Bowman University cards. They're off-centered a lot of the time, left to right. So makes it hard to grade. What the hell? Huh. Is this fake? Let's see. What is going on here? This is LeBron rookie. Oh, this is a reprint. Okay, all right. It's a reprint. I was like, what? You don't see that very often. Let's see what else we got here. Jason Dominguez. This card's off-centered. I could see. Nice card, though. Let's see what else we got here. What else do we have here? A lot of Leo DeVries. A lot of new Bowman Chrome, which is cool. Aaron Judge, Mini Refractor, Otani. You know what? Let's flip this search around. So I want to look at Bowman Chrome. So this is what I'm going to do. What this is, what I'm about to do is something called a query search. So what this is, it's multiple searches in one. So check this out, right? You can go Bowman Chrome. You can put a comma, Topps Chrome, another comma, Topps Series. These are all products I like. And you click search, so it's 3 independent searches in one. What we can do, I'm going to go to newly listed this time, and I'm going to do like minimum like 250. I want to search for a little bit higher end cards. And, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put 2023, and 2023, and 2023. So it's only showing me newer stuff. And let's see. Well, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take the 2023 away. Let's take this away. I'm just going to search for anything. Because I will find cards a few years old sometimes that are pretty good. Let's see what we got here. A lot of graded stuff. Sometimes it gives me the option on the left-hand side, like I showed you before, to only look at stuff that's not graded, and sometimes not. But maybe I have to change my search filter for that to happen. I'm not exactly sure how that happens because I don't like the way this search is looking. Let's look at Topps Chrome, baseball. Let's see. So we could look at Topps Chrome here. We could do not graded. That's what I'm looking for. Not graded. And this is interesting. Got a lot of different types of cards. These are nice cards, the basketball stuff, but I am not going to touch it because basketball season's coming up and it's not for me. It's just not for me because a lot of the basketball stuff will go down in value once the season begins. You know, I don't like the way this search looks either. Let's go back to Bowman Chrome. You can see sometimes I did a video last week and I was just buying cards like crazy, or finding cards like crazy, I should say. And today, it's a little bit of a struggle. Let's see. Bowman Chrome. Let's see if anything pops up or appeals to us. This Ohtani card does. Can't go wrong with this. But these cards are just hard to grade. I mean, they're, what are they, 6 years old at this point? This card is well centered and looks great. Super clean Shohei Ohtani. Let's look at his other items and see, does he sell? He probably doesn't grade cards. He doesn't have much on here. Let's look at 2018 Bowman Chrome Ohtani. Let's see what this card sells for. So this is his autograph, sold for $9,000. And let's see, something looks strange about this card. What looks strange about it? PSA 10 does 900. Raw does like 300. Okay. Not bad. So what I'm going to do is I am going to 300, 10s, 1,000, 900, before 1,000 again, 400. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to offer $300. I would pay like, just because I think I could grade, I'm going to pay like, I would pay like up to like $375. This might get auto decline, but let's see. Let's see what happens here. And auto decline. Let's see again. Let's come up a little bit to 350. Let's see if Mr. eBay guy here will accept this. Okay. All right. We got something in. Sick. So that's a nice card. There's a lot of 2024 Bowman Chrome. I just don't like how it's so new. It comes down a lot of the time. Paul Skeens, yellow refractor. Nah, this corner looks messed up. Something looks wrong here with this corner. I'm not going to touch it. Let's see what else we got here. All right. You know what? Let me flip this search around, and I'm going to start to look at actually some football. So I want to show you guys something interesting. So right now I'm speaking, CJ Stroud, like all the rookie quarterbacks kind of stink, like Richardson and Levis. I don't really want to buy them because I think they could be backups, but Stroud is having a pretty solid season. And if you look up a Prism CJ Stroud PSA 10, because this is a good indicator of his market. So if you look at the past 180 days, you'll see he's played well. The Texans are having a good year, but it's went down because just anything that's hyped just comes down. But if you look in the past 30 days, like the past 14 days, it's like starting to level out, right? So Stroud values, to me, are a solid buy. I think Stroud is a solid buy right now. I think he has a lot of cards out there to possibly buy and get graded. And I don't think, like if you buy this card of Stroud here in the beginning of the season, you'd see, well, if you get it back from grading now, it's worth 25% less. But now what this tells me in the past 14 days, it's leveled out. So now I think it's a safe buy. So I think CJ Stroud football is a possible go. Topps Finest Composite. I don't like unlicensed stuff. Let's look at not graded. Oh, this is sick. Oh my God, this is insane. You can see the high-end cards get me excited. CJ Stroud Gold Contenders, number to 10. Let's see this card. Wow. This looks good. Now it's just a matter of finding out what it's worth. Send me a message if interested. Let's look at his other items. Let's see if he grades cards. No, he probably does not. You can see most people don't grade cards. This is a fascinating card. I like this. All right, let's see if there's any sales of it. So, Contenders, Optic Stroud. I'm just gonna see the highest one sold to see, like, because this would be one of his highest end ones. So one sold for $2,600. This is in August though, and like we just discovered here, since August, right? If you look in the past 90 days, well, his value of his Prism PSA 10 went from like $100, $90, and now it's worth like $80. So it's down like 20%. This card's a little different because it's higher end, but I would like to pay like $2,000 for this card. So let's try two things here. You know what? Let's do this. So here's a little eBay hack. I really only do this for higher end cards. So I'm going to send him a message. And in this message, I am going to try to do a deal with him, not on eBay. So I save money on fees, and it's just much easier to communicate. So I'll say something like this, like, hey, love the card. Check out the picture and let me know what you think. I'm not recommending to do this, but I do it, and it's worked out pretty well. So you can see I have something saved to my computer called eBay Pick. Fantastic. And in that picture, it'll send him a message saying, hey, this is my email, this is my phone number. Message me if you want to do a deal. And maybe I'll just come in on eBay and like lowball it a little bit to get his attention. And maybe he'll accept it. Who knows? I doubt he'll accept it, but possibly. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. We got something in there. Maybe he'll just accept it on eBay. So that's a pretty solid card. This is a solid card, but not for me. Topps Composite. Let's see what this is. Pink Velocity, number to 79. Yeah, the card's a little off-centered. The left is bigger than the right. I'm probably not going to touch that. What is this? Rated Rookie Electricity Prism. Let's see the back here. These corners look good. Let's see his other items. He probably does not grade cards. Let's see what I have no idea what this is worth. Let's see. Number to 69, Stroud. Oh, whoops. That's not how to spell Stroud. Stroud Optic. Let's see what this card's worth. So, okay, so what you're looking at there are sales from August. We want to see the most recent ones, right? So one did $1,000. So one did $1,000 October 9th. But you can see a PSA 9 at $611. Usually a PSA 9 and a raw sale, raw meaning the card's not graded, usually they'll sell for kind of similar. And then a PSA 9 here did 1,100. This was in September, right? I just showed you his values went down 25% since. So like this specific card, I mean, I don't want to pay more than like if a PSA 9 is doing like 611 and this card goes in for grading, I don't want to lose more than like $150. But I'll come in and offer like $650. He's probably going to say no. It's probably going to be auto decline, but it's worth it. We're here, right? So you might as well. Yeah, that's probably just doesn't make sense. That one shitty sale messed things up. This is a pretty crazy card. This guy's over. I just know that card's the guy's asking way too much money. Let's see what else we got here. I know some of the XRC stuff is out. So XRC is like the new guys like Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. It's like their best way to put it is it's their like it's like select, but it's like their first best cards. They actually make them in the beginning of the season. Let's see what this is worth. What are the silver prisms doing now? So this card looks good. The centering's a little bit off. Yeah, the top is a little bit too big for the bottom. I'm probably going to stay away from that. Contenders. Hollow refractor. The corners look good. Is this centering? I have not touched these cards, so I got to see. Let me pull up another tab of eBay and see. Is this centering normal or is it bad? Like how the left is bigger than the right. So let me look up Contenders, Stroud, 2023. Let me just look at some other cards and see. Is that just how the centering goes on those cards? No, I think. Yeah, this one's just pretty badly off-centered. This right is bigger than the left, so good information. Not going to touch it. Blue. This one looks perfect. Blue Sparkle, number to 96. Conditions ungraded. Let's look at his other items. Carolina. Doesn't have many other cards. This card ends in 4 days. It's at $1,000 right now. This card looks pretty damn good, to be honest with you. They're really good at taking pictures of it. So let's look this up. Carolina, what was it called? Carolina Blue Sparkle number 9. I'm just gonna type in number 96 Prism Stroud 2023. And is that the same card? Yep, that's the same card. So a PSA 9 did $820. And this is already at 1,000. Holy shit. Yeah, so like a PSA 10 did 3,000. PSA 9 did 1,000. This was in September, though. You could see what this card's going to sell for like 1,500, 1,600 just because of the presentation of the card. Looks so good, and the card looks so clean. Great card. I'd buy it, but I could just tell it's going to sell for way above what I'd like to pay. So not the best. Let's see here. Contenders Optic Stroud Cracked Ice. This looks pretty good from what I'm looking at here. Let's look at the description. Card is cracked ice, well preserved, in excellent shape, great condition. That's solid. And let's see here. This is the type of stuff I like. You know, I go through this battle in my head when I do these videos because I'm like, you know what? I want to buy cards for myself. And I like to buy cards that are expensive, as you probably already know. But then at the same time, how much does it help other people? Because I know a lot of you guys getting into this. You guys should be buying cards worth $100, $200, which I try to do. I try to do a mix of both. But let's see here. Contenders, Optic, Stroud, Cracked Ice. Let's see. So one did 2,200, and then another did 2,800. Huh. Is that it? That's the only sales. Let's look at market movers. Let's type in 2023. Optic Contenders, Ice, Stroud. Yeah, so 2,200 is the only sale. But like we just discovered, looking at Stroud's value here, or like we were before, it's down like 20% since September. And if the last one did 2,200, I'd like to pay like, I don't know. I'd probably be aggressive here and pay 2,000. So this auction ends in 4 days. The beautiful thing about Easy Sniper, right? I could just copy this, head over to Easy Sniper, and now this card ends in 4 days, and right now Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it ends on Saturday, so it's not going to be on Sunday because his value could change on a week-to-week basis, as you probably guys already know. But I'm going to bid $2,047 here. And it's great because like just set it, forget it. I can't tell you before I started using Easy Sniper how many cards I forgot to bid on that I would put in my watch list, and I got pissed off, and I would have paid whatever it sold for. It's a lot of missed opportunity because I didn't have Easy Sniper. Ticket stub 7 out of 6. This is a sick card. This guy's probably asking way too much, but it's a sick card. This card looks off center. Yeah. Usually when they take a weird picture like this, it tells you there's probably something wrong with it. But maybe the guy just is not good at taking pictures. This guy's asking way too much for the card. I can tell you that, but maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. He definitely doesn't grade cards. Yeah, he grades. Yeah, he doesn't really grade cards. Let's look at this guy. I know this card's worth way too much compared to what he's asking, but let's look. Stroud number 149 Prism 2023. Yeah, so one just did $610. A 10, you're going to make good money. Yeah, you can see a 10 sells for $1,800. So this is a solid card. I mean, one did $610. I'd pay strong. I'd probably pay like $630 for the card, $640. But let's see what he says. Probably going to be auto declined. Yeah. Sometimes people are just way overpriced, and there's nothing you could do about it. That's the shitty part about this sometimes. Sometimes you could, like, I've been to card shows, and you could just tell someone, like, dude, this card just sold for $500. And the guy's like, I know what it's worth. I want $800. I'm like, man. Sometimes people are tough to deal with. These Topps Chrome ones are nice. These Topps Chrome composites. I'm going to stay away from them. I don't like buying the unlicensed stuff. And when I say unlicensed, what I'm talking about is so Topps doesn't have the license to the NFL stuff. So if you look at his jersey and his helmet, you can see there's no logo on it because they don't have the rights to put Stroud's logo on it, which makes the card just a little bit less desirable. I mean, these cards probably sell fine. but it's just me being nitpicky. Optic Jazz. I don't know what the hell this is. The left is a little bit smaller than the right. I'm going to stay away from that at the moment. Let's see what this is. Optic Stroud. You can see, so this is what I'm talking about. When they take a weird picture like this at a weird angle, it's hard to see the centering. So you can see this top here it's even hard to see, but this bottom looks smaller than the top. When you see a card that's like pictured weird, like this or like this, it tells you that it's probably something wrong with it, unless the guy just stinks at taking pictures, which does happen sometimes. Stroud has a lot of cards out there, man. Let's look at, you know what I want to look at? 2023 XRC. Like, let me just look at something. Caleb Williams. This stuff is new. Yeah, this stuff is new. The XRC stuff. Wow, holy shit. So, what I want to see all the new stuff. So, like, what I would do is this. So, check this out. I'm going to use that query search. So, Caleb Williams, XRC, Bo Nix, XRC, Penix, XRC, Drake, May. Who am I missing? Oh yeah, the most successful one, Jaden Daniels. And is that it? Wasn't there one more taken? Let me look something up. 2023 or 2024 NFL. Oh, JJ McCarthy. Right? Let me just make sure. I'm not missing any star rookies here. Williams. Oh, Marvin Harrison. That's a good one. He's gonna sell for a lot. XRC. Marvin Harrison. XRC. So XRC is like a really good type of football card that just came out. Am I missing any stars? Malik Neighbors. I'll stay away from him. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all who I'd want to buy. So we close this. So this is a bunch of independent searches in one. So you can see a bunch of them are going to pop up. This is just insane. Like this value, just being in sports cards a long time. You know what? This isn't giving me a lot of good search results. Let's type in 2023 XRC. And let's go to highest first. Wow. Yeah. Yep. They're asking a lot of money. I mean, these cards are new. So this is the problem, right? Since these cards are brand new, people are asking so much. Like this card of Drake, of Bo Nix. I don't know what it sells for. Like we could look it up. This tie-dye XRC Bo Nix. But like, yeah, like this card sold for $1,300. Like this is gonna level off at like $600-700. So it's just too new. It's just not worth buying. They're great cards, like unbelievably liquid. They grade well. People fucking love them. I love them, but just can't do anything. I know they're gonna drop in value pretty hard. Like if we look here, I'm curious if Market Movers has it. XRC, like Caleb Williams. Are there any? There's no sales. Like Jaden Daniels. There's no sales on here. XRC, Jaden. Like yeah, this card that's $900, $1,100. Like this is not what it's gonna sell for. Like just to compare it to like XRC Stroud. Stroud does about the same, but Stroud is like in a PSA 9 that's $500 and $600. So this card's actually worth about $600 of Stroud, right? The same card. So that card I just showed you of Jaden Daniels is selling for like $900 to $1,000. Stroud's doing like $600. Well, Stroud has leveled off, and the hype has died, and this is what it's actually worth. Jaden Daniels is not worth more 50. It's not worth 50% more than Stroud, right? So it's gonna come down. You know what they say: what goes up must come down. I mean, that never went up; it just started up. But you get what I'm saying here. So yeah, I love these cards, but what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do when they're selling for that high? Let's look at. You know what I'm gonna do? What I want to look at is what you could do is use Market Movers here, and let's do a little bit of a change up. So let's go into vintage cards. So vintage cards are interesting. So making money with vintage cards from the 50s and 60s and 40s is kind of hard, but like vintage cards from like 70s, 80s, and 90s, if you consider it vintage, is not bad. So check this out. This is a nice little strategy, and I'll leave you guys off with this of how I make money with sometimes with cards. So what we could do here is look at cards from 80 to 99, right? And last sale, we can do minimum $100, at least 3 sales, and I only want to look at PSA 10s. So if we search for these cards, check this out. In the last 60 days, I could look at what has went down the most. What that tells me is, let's take an example here, right? So let's look at this card of John Smoltz, all right? So, this is a weird one. It's weird sales. Let's look at this card of Cal Ripken. It's also not what I'm looking for. Nolan Ryan. All right, this is a good example. This card of Nolan Ryan. This, if you look here, 1982 base PSA 10. Now, if we look at the past 180 days, we could see this card is like 200, 200, 220, 220, high sale of 260, and the last sale is 150. Now, these cards slowly go up with time, usually. Not always, but usually, right? And because I know that, and the last sale was low, I could get in cheap right now if someone is willing to give me a decent deal, right? So if we type in 1982, Nolan Ryan, PSA 10. Whoops. Which one was it? It was number 419. 419. We could look and see, and we can message all these guys and see, like, hey, who's willing to give it up for like the last sale, like 130, 140. It's like, for example, oh shit, whoops. I did not mean to offer $1. Wait. So like the last sale was 150. I'll come in at 130. And I try to buy these cards off of eBay so no one can see what I paid so it doesn't mess up the data. But let's see here. So offer sent. So he might respond, and then I'll try to send him a message to take him off of eBay. But I'll do that with all these cards. And, you know, you'll be able to pick off one or two at like 140, 150, and you could just hold it. And it's only going to go up with time. And what you could do, this is really cool. You can set an alert here. I think it's this button. You can set an alert. So when there's a sale of this card, let's say I buy that card I just showed you. Let's say I end up buying it for 150. I like to try to make 20%, right? So like I could set an alert here. When it sells for at least $200, add it, and market movers will notify me when it sells for $200. So I know, okay, I got this card. I'm into it for 150. Let me go and try and sell it now. And you do this every day, and you build up this rolling inventory of vintage cards that you're into for cheap. And like this card of Nolan Ryan, for example, might go up next week to 200. I might take 4 months, but who gives a shit, right? Because it's a good asset to have. I can tell you, having this card at $150 is better than money sitting in your bank making 2% interest a year. If I don't even think it's that, it's like 0.2% probably. So that's kind of how, like, at least how I make money with vintage cards. Just a little side thing I thought I would throw in there. But cool, we found some decent cards, and let me just do one last search. I want to try to find one Whopper. One like Whopper of a Bowman Chrome card. And let's look at $1,000 minimum. And I just want to see if there's anything that catches my eye. So this is a card I think I talked about in the last video I did, and there was good margin with these cards. So these cards of Ohtani, 2017 Mega Box. Ohtani Mega Box. So if you look here, an SGC 10 does, like, the last one did 1,100. PSA 10 does, you know what, not that much more. It was doing like 18. So like if it was doing like 18, 1900, I think this is an interesting buy. Like, I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm gonna see if I can get this for like, I don't know, $800, and then just send it to PSA, and it'll probably get a 10. Let's just see here. It's gonna probably say no, but let's see. Yeah, nope. But those cards I used to make so much money with those cards. It was crazy. Jackson Merrill, gold, Bowman Chrome, SGC 10. So this is an interesting buy because SGC 10 sells for a little bit less than PSA. What you could do is buy it. It'll probably appreciate as we get closer to the season. Very solid card of Jackson Merrill. And what you could do is send it into PSA to get crossed. And if it crosses to a PSA 10, not only will you make 10, 20, 30% hopefully on it just going up in value, but you can make another 20, 30% on it getting a PSA 10. So that's also an interesting buy. So let's look at this. Jackson Merrill, gold, Bowman Chrome, 2022. So Raw did $1,300. This is like the last sale. Yeah, this guy's, he wants 40, so like I'm not gonna pay more. So like if a Raw did 1,300, and if we look at his base Bowman Chrome, Jackson Merrill, PSA 10. If we look at this, let's see if we can find it's not autographed, or unless there's, well, let's just use his autograph for example. So if that sale was in August 13th, this card was worth $250 back then, and today it's worth like $300, so it's up like 20, 30, it's up like 20%. So if this card Raw did, what did I just say? It did 1,300. Raw today would be like 1,600 maybe. I mean, I wouldn't want to pay. You know what? I'm just gonna try to take this guy. I'm gonna just message him and see what's up. I would pay $2,500 for this card, and I think I could sell for like 3,000 plus if I just held it. But I'm gonna try to get a PSA 10 out of it. Interested in the card? Check out the picture below, and let me know what you think. And here we go. eBay picture. Let's pop that right there, and it'll let him know that I'm interested. So that's an interesting card. And also what you could do, let me see something else with that card. What we could look at is what would blue sales do? Merrill, Jackson Merrill. Does he not have blues? Does he not have blues in the product? He must. Jackson Bowman Chrome Blue. Maybe he doesn't have he has the blue Ray Wave. Maybe he doesn't have a regular blue in Bowman in like that year of product. Sometimes it's weird. Like sometimes guys don't have certain variations of cards. Like Joe Adele, who used to be a big prospect, that was 2017 Bowman Chrome. He only had like orange and base. I think that's it. I don't think he had other colors. He didn't have a blue or anything like that. You know, this isn't loading. This is not loading for some reason, but maybe that's my sign to go back to the oh, here we go. Orange Shimmer 5,500. So an Orange Shimmer 5,500. Yeah, I don't really believe that this is worth $5,500. His orange. Okay, so this is good. So his orange Bowman Chrome is 6,500 PSA 10. This is his regular orange. What that tells me, gold is usually about half. So his gold PSA 10 would be about like half of that. So like $3,000 to $3,200. So like that means an SGC 10, in my opinion, is worth like $2,300, $2,500. So maybe I'd want to pay like $2,300, $2,400. This guy's asking $4,750, so probably not worth it in my mind. But it is an interesting card. But we found some good stuff. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight. And okay, this is the last one. You can tell I'm addicted to this stuff. Last one. Carson Williams. This card's off-center. The top is too big for the bottom. Not for me. That kind of sounds like a sexual term. The top's not too big for the bottom. But cool. Yeah, I'll leave it off at that. Found some good cards. I'll keep you guys updated on what I buy, but hopefully it just gives you some insight into how to make money online with sports cards. And this is just eBay, right? There's card shows, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. But let's head back to the camera. Hopefully that video provided you some value. You can see I kind of bounced around. I was looking for some baseball. It was kind of and then I went into football. And the reason I love CJ Stroud is because his value has stabilized. And what's fascinating is he's played well. The Texans are having a good year, but his values went down 25%, like I showed you. But what that tells me is, right, we've seen some stabilization in the past 2 weeks. Now we could go in and buy. Will it go up? Will it go down? I'm not sure. But what I could tell you in the beginning of the season is most likely his value will go down because that's just how it works, right? These guys are hyped when the season's coming about, and then what's inflated usually comes down. That's just how it works. Also, I give you a little bit of a sneak peek into some vintage stuff and how I make money doing that. But that exact process you just saw, I've been doing it for the past 10 years of my life every single day. And I've been able to buy and sell a lot of cars. There's some other things you could do, right? Like Facebook and Instagram, but everybody has access to eBay and it's a level playing field. You don't need followers. You don't need anything like that. So it's an amazing place to make money. And what I love to do is buy on eBay, like I just showed you, and sell on social media and sell at card shows. So I love to buy on eBay, sell on card shows, sell on social media. It's just the way I prefer to do it. If you enjoyed this video, what's a nice piggyback off of this video, I have a training called the Best Sports Card Training on the Internet. It outlines in exactly 7 steps what I just showed you, but it's on our Google Doc, and it's very systematic and takes you step by step by step by step on exactly how to get started making money with sports cards and scaling your business, etc. Hopefully you enjoyed this stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. I try to reply to all of my comments in my podcast I do twice a week and answer any questions you guys have. But like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.